Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Trinadapi Sunichena Tarari Vasahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Nama Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Thank you for coming and coming early to the program. Tonight I will continue my lecture series on the Shree Ishopanishad. In the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Krishna says, the Vedas are mostly dealing with the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, ignorance. But my dear Arjuna, you should transcend these modes of nature. You should transcend the Vedas. So, what has Vyasadeva given us that is beyond the Vedas? That is called 108 Upanishads. That knowledge which brings us closer to the personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. It is the basic principle of the Srimad Bhagavatam that although there are many, many incarnations of God, the original source of all other incarnations, and He Himself has no other source, that is called Govinda or Krishna. He is Adi Purusha, or as Bhishma Dev said on his deathbed of arrows, as Bhishma Dev was giving up his final breath, he prayed to Krishna, who was at his feet, and said, Krishna, you are the Adi Narayan. You are the original Narayan. You are the source of all the Narayans. And even Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Matta Parataram Nanyat. There is no truth superior to me. So that knowledge which brings us closer to Sri Krishna, that is known as Upanishad. My spiritual master, the ISKCON founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has translated, explained the Shree Ishopanishad, one of the main of the 108, one of the main ones. So tonight I will speak on verse number 3, but I will chant the first shlokas leading up to verse number 3 so that you get the verse in context. Om Purnamada Purnabhidang Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete. And because He is completely perfect, all emanations from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. And because He is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance. So that verse is the invocation. Then we have mantra 1. Ishavasyam idang sarvam yatkincha jagatyang jagat tena tyaktena vunjita magridda kasya svidhanam. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for oneself, which are set aside as one's quota. And one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. And then mantra 2, Kuravan eveha karmani jajiveshet chatang sama evang tvainanyate tosti nakarma lipyate nare. One may aspire to live for hundreds of years if he or she continuously goes on working in that way. For that sort of work will not bind one to the law of karma. And there is no alternative to this way for man. And so now we come upon tonight's verse, mantra 3. Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavrita tangste pritya bigachanti yeke chatmahano jana. The killer of the soul, whoever one may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. So I will divide this lecture tonight into 2 parts. First, I will give my explanation of this verse, and then we will study my spiritual master's purport to this verse. Before we proceed, we will chant one short kirtan. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Krishna, 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 Pahima. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahima. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam.
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam.
Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam.
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam.
Thank you, Raghu, and thank you for singing. Kirtan is very special because the more that participate, the better the kirtan is. That is the secret of kirtan. Kirtan is nice, one or two people, but the more that participate, the better it becomes. This mantra that I just chanted was chanted by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he would travel South India on his way to Vrindavan. This prayer is an alternate of the Maha Mantra. The Maha Mantra we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. This mantra is as good because what is it saying? Krishna Hey, calling out to Krishna. Then Krishna Raksha, Krishna Paksha, please protect me, please maintain me. And then Rama Raghava. Rama Raghava can only mean Lord Ramachandra. Just like in the Hare Krishna mantra, many people when they chant Hare Ram, they are referring to Sita Ram. No problem. Hare Ram can refer to Sita Ram, can refer to other things as well. That's all right. Balaram, it can refer to Balaram, or it can refer to Krishna. But Sitaram, that's fine. And then, of course, Krishna Keshava. Krishna Keshava, Krishna. He killed the Keshi demon, Keshava. He has hair that is very, very fine, Keshava. And then Kaisha, he controls Brahma and Shiva, Keshava. Three meanings of this word, Keshava. So now I will explain this third mantra from the Ishopanishad. Please repeat, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the translation of the third verse, the killer of the soul, whoever he or she may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. So that very first phrase, killer of the soul. But Prabhu, you have taught us in Bhagavad Gita, the soul cannot be killed. The soul cannot be harmed. The soul cannot be dried or moistened. So why you are saying killer of the soul? Prabhu, you are contradicting yourself. No, this is called poetic language. Yes, it's true. The soul cannot be killed. Just as we learn from Bhagavad Gita. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings. neither in the future shall any of us cease to be. We learned that first lesson of Bhagavad Gita. Namriyate, the soul has not come into being, does not come into being, will not come into being. Why? It's already existing. There's no birth for the soul. It's already existing alongside God. There is no birth of God. That Janmashtami is a drama, is a play. Krishna was existing before Janmashtami. There have been millions and millions of Janmashtamis. Somewhere right now there's a Janmashtami going on in some material universe, because all of Krishna's pastimes are happening somewhere in the material universes. Right now, somewhere, there's Janmashtami going on. Just as right now, somewhere, Krishna is killing Putana and Kamsa, and all the pastimes is going on like clockwork throughout all the universes, one after another. So just as Krishna always existed, the soul, you and me, we also always existed, and we will always exist. So killer of the soul is different kind of language. What does it mean to be the killer of the soul? The meaning of killer of the soul is a person who neglects spiritual life. The killer of the soul is that person who rejects spiritual life, who rejects the existence of God, who rejects a life of God consciousness, and instead pursues a life of sensuality, of materialism. That's the killer of the soul. It's as if one has a very valuable jewel and then forgets that he or she is wearing it. If you have a very valuable jewel, you protect it. You're very, very conscious. But if somebody forgets that they have this jewel, then what was the whole purpose? So we have this jewel called human life. And human life means to realize my existence as soul, to understand what is my relationship with God, to, like in the opening statement of the Vedanta Sutras, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Therefore, because now you have come to the human form of life after an evolution of thousands and thousands and millions of lifetimes, now that you have found yourself to be human, you have a priority. That priority is to understand yourself, to understand what is my relationship with God, what is the real nature of this existence. Just as in Bhagavad Gita, 5 subjects are explained: Ishvara, Jiva, Karma, Kala, and Prakriti. These are the 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita: God, the soul, material nature, activities, time. These 5 subjects are interrelated. They don't exist independently. These are the 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. And the most important one, Ishwar, God. That's the most important. If that's not understood, the other 4 will not be understood properly. So, human form of life means asking questions, continually asking questions. Who is God? Who am I? What is the real nature of this material existence? How am I affected by time? And what is the nature of my activities? Because depending on my activities, that is going to determine my next life. And that is a primary consideration as a human being. Where am I going? My activities. I have to become introspective. My life, how I am acting in this life, what is going to happen to me in the next life is all dependent on how I act in this life, in the human form of life. Just like you all, from time to time, you make plans to go back to India, correct? So you have to make so many arrangements. So you make certain arrangements so that when your trip is there, everything goes smoothly. So you are going on a long journey called death. Shouldn't you not plan appropriately for that journey? Otherwise, you might wind up like a Jamil. When the time of death came for a Jamil, he was not interested in where they were going to take him. He was being roughly handled by the Yamadutas. And he was very much afraid because he didn't like where they were going to take him. They were taking him to hell. But that's because Ajamil was the killer of the soul. Although Ajamil was born a Brahmin and was trained a Brahmin by contacting the prostitute and marrying her, he became completely degraded. He became a criminal, a thief. He lost everything, all his good qualities, simply because he married that prostitute. And she was cooking for him, so everything he was eating was sin, as we learned from Bhagavad Gita. Food that's not offered to God is simply sin. It may be vegetarian, not vegetarian, doesn't matter. Food not offered to God is sin, according to the Bhagavad Gita. So, the killer of the soul is that person who, as a human being, does not inquire who is God, who does not inquire into the nature of the absolute truth, who neglects spiritual education and culture, who simply becomes absorbed in materialistic life. That's the killer of the soul. Yes, you have to maintain your body, you have to maintain your family. No one's denying that. But if that's all you are doing, you are a killer of the soul. Because there must be serious inquiry and study into the science of God. That's why it's mandatory that we read Bhagavad Gita. And those who are more advanced, Srimad Bhagavatam. These two books are the science of the soul and God. By reading these two books, you become a serious student in this. It's a science. Yes. There is a science of God. And it is taught in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should not be a killer of the soul. Don't neglect the soul. There's a nice story Prabhupada tells in the first canto of Bhagavatam. Somebody has a nice bird. Now, if you have a bird, you keep it in your house, you have to have a cage. So this person had a nice bird and put it in a cage. But instead of taking care of the bird, the person took care of the cage only. Decorated the cage, cleaned the cage, but never fed the bird, neglected the bird, but the cage, nicely taken care of. So what do you think happened? The bird died. The bird represents the soul. The cage represents the body. That's what most people in this world are doing. They're taking care of the cage, neglecting the bird inside. That bird analogy is also used by Krishna in the Uddhava Gita. Krishna says there are two birds sitting on a tree. One bird is flying branch to branch, tasting the different fruits. That's the living entity, Jiva. The other bird, self-realized. That's Krishna in the heart. The other bird is not jumping from branch to branch. It is self-satisfied. The other bird is going from branch to branch. And the problem is, there are only two kinds of fruits of the body. The tree of the body. This is an analogy. The tree of the body. But there's only two kinds of fruits. Happiness, distress. That's it. Some of us right now are tasting the fruit of distress. Some of us are tasting the fruit of happiness. That's all you get in the material world when it comes to material enjoyment. Sometimes we're enjoying, other times we're suffering. We are that bird flying from branch to branch. And that other bird, Krishna, is waiting for the other bird to turn to him for direction. That's another reason why we read Bhagavad Gita, to get Krishna's direction. So the killer of the soul is the person who neglects the soul. So then the verse says, the killer of the soul, whoever he or she may be, there's no excuses, there's no options. Everyone has this responsibility. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, there is this phrase, cause and effect. Everything has a cause, and that cause has an effect. There's the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, the mode of ignorance. Depending on the choices I make, the decisions I make, I get a certain result. It's all explained in Bhagavad Gita chapter 14, 17, 18. Krishna outlines it. If you follow this path, you're going to get this result. If you follow this path, you're going to get a different result. If you follow this path, it's not the same. It's like you're driving on the 5 freeway. Say you're coming to the temple. There are so many exits. But if you want to get to the temple properly, you have to take the correct exit. If you take the wrong exit, you may become late for the arti or prasadam because you took the wrong exit. We're taking exits all the time in our life because we're also driving a car. Yantra rudhani mayaya. Bhagavad Gita says this body is a yantra, a machine. And we are sitting on that machine. And who's driving? Krishna. He's our Uber driver. We tell Krishna, I want to go here. Just like Krishna, Arjuna told Krishna, take my chariot here. So in the same way, Krishna is directing the wanderings, but we are indicating where we want to go. So the killer of the soul, don't be a killer of the soul. Don't neglect the soul. Inquire, read Bhagavad Gita, read Srimad Bhagavatam, study, and be serious about spiritual inquiry. So if one becomes a killer of the soul, where do they go? They don't go to heaven. The worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. There is no automatic elevation. It's not as some people think, oh, I'm a human being, so in my next life I'm definitely going to go. No. You can go down, as this verse says. If you neglect spiritual life, you will not be elevated after death. You will be degraded to a lower lifetime, full of darkness and ignorance. That's why we say, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namai Vikivalam. Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyata. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha. If you chant Hare Krishna, not only are you not the killer of the soul, you're the rejuvenator. The soul becomes rejuvenated by chanting. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram. The soul becomes enlivened by chanting. So now we will study Prabhupada's purport to this verse. We will go over it line by line, but before we do that, we'll do another short. After a long time, my good friend has come. She's a very good student of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very knowledgeable. Nice to see you after a long time. She asks me questions I can't answer. That's what level she's on. Very good. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Let's do some chanting and then I will continue. Hari Haraye Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Krishna Yadav. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. 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 Hari Haraye Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Hari Haraye Namaha. Baba. Hari Haraye Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Hari Haraye Namaha. Hari Haraye. So I just explained this third verse. The killer of the soul whoever he or she may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. My spiritual master has written a purport on this verse in very simple language. Let's try to hear and learn from our spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada ki. Human life is distinguished from animal life due to its heavy responsibilities. Those who are cognizant of these responsibilities and who work in that spirit are called suras, or godly persons. And those who are neglectful of these responsibilities, or who have no information of them, are called asura, or demons. Throughout the universe, there are only these two types of human being. Same thing is stated by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He says the same thing. There's only two kinds of living beings. In the Rig Veda, it is stated, Om Tad Vishnu Paramang Padang Sada Pasyanti At Suryo Deviva Chakshar Atatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagrivangsa Samindate Vishnu Yat Paramang Padam. You knew that one. That's why you are Panditji. The Suras always aim at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, and act accordingly. Their ways are as illuminated as the path of the sun. Intelligent human beings must always remember that the soul obtains a human form after an evolution of many millions of years in the cycle of transmigration. Now he quotes in the purport a verse from Bhagavatam. Nirdehamadyang sulabang sadulabang plavang sukalpang gurukarna dharam mayana kulena nabasvateritang puman bhavabding nataret sa atmaha. So that word, atmaha, same thing in the Ishopanishad verse. Atmaha, killer of the soul. The material world is sometimes compared to an ocean, like we sing that song, Taraha e bhava sindure. The Vedas give this example many times. The ocean of material existence. In the past, I've given lectures, and I've given the example of that movie Titanic. And there's the scene when everybody is in the water, shivering cold, right? And there's broken pieces of the ship, and they're waiting for the rescue, but some people died, and some lived because they were hanging on. So that's material existence, Titanic. The material world is sometimes compared to an ocean, and the human body is compared to a solid boat designed especially to cross this ocean. The Vedic scriptures and the acharyas, or saintly teachers, are compared to expert boatmen, and the facilities of the human body are compared to favorable breezes that help the boat ply smoothly to its desired destination. But if, with all these facilities, a human being does not fully utilize his or her life for self-realization, one must be considered Atmaha, the killer of the soul. Shree Ishopanishad warns in clear terms that the killer of the soul is destined to enter into the darkest region of ignorance to suffer perpetually. Prabhupada continues. There are swine, dogs, camels, asses, etc., whose economic necessities are just as important to them as ours are to us. But the economic problems of these animals are solved only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. You all know in India what it's like, the life of a hog. You've all seen it. I have seen it. Right? You know the condition. Or here in America, the condition of a dog in America and the condition of a dog in India. Big difference. Right? So we see, as he says here, are solved only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. The human being is given all facilities for a comfortable life by the laws of nature because the human form of life is more important and valuable than animal life. Even you'll read again in the Uddhava Gita, Krishna mentions this, that there are 8,400,000 species of life. Krishna says, but me, I especially favor the human form. And it's for this reason, because in the 8 million species lower than human, there's no question of self-realization. They don't have the facility. But a human being has the opportunity for self-realization. That's what makes human life so special. Prabhupada now asks a question. Why is man given a better life than that of the swine and other animals? Why is a highly placed government servant given better facilities than those of an ordinary clerk? That's like, there's all this talk about Obamacare, right? And how they're going to take away health insurance for millions of people. But the senators, they still get their health insurance. Very interesting. They want to take away yours, but theirs, no, you cannot touch. Rascals. They're all rascals. The ants, and I remember a few years ago, I remember very clearly, during Obama's time, the Senate decided we deserve a raise. So they all gave themselves raises. Can you do that? Shri Shri Radharaman Bhagavan Ki Jai. That'd be nice, huh? Yeah, I wake up today, I deserve a raise. How about 100% increase? What do you think? The answer is that a highly placed officer has to discharge duties of a higher nature. Similarly, the duties of human beings have to perform are higher than those of animals who are always engaged in simply feeding their hungry stomachs. Yes, animals, that's all they do is materialism. But we as human beings, we are expected to pursue higher things, namely God consciousness. Yet, the modern soul-killing civilization has only increased the problems of the hungry stomach. When we approach a polished animal in the form of civilized man and ask him to take interest in self-realization, he will say that he simply wants to work to satisfy his stomach and that there is no need of self-realization for a hungry man. Yes, this is the problem. Most people are not interested in self-realization. They're interested in making money and enjoying. Very few people are interested in self-realization. That's why there's that verse in chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasresyu kashchid yatati siddhaye. Krishna says, out of thousands among human beings, you may find one person interested in self-realization. And of those who have actually become self-realized, you may find one who realizes Krishna. Somebody who actually realizes Krishna is very, very sudurlabha, very rare. Very, very rare. The laws of nature are so cruel that despite one's denunciation of the need for self-realization and eagerness to work hard to fill one's stomach, one is always threatened by unemployment. And that we see happening now more and more and more. All of a sudden, job is gone. And they say nowadays, most people, they're living paycheck to paycheck. So when they lose that job, they're in big trouble. We are given this human form of life not to work hard like asses, swine, and dogs, but to attain the highest perfection of life. If we do not care for self-realization, the laws of nature forces us to work very hard, even though we may not want to do so. Human beings in this age have been forced to work like asses and bullocks that pull carts. You know, I've seen, you've seen some places in this world, China, Korea, other places. People are working like Prabhupada describes here, like asses and bullocks. Well, why are they in that position? Because in the past, they wasted the human form of life and neglected self-realization. You here are all coming from Indian families. So your history is such that in the past there has been some inquiry into self-realization. That's why you are the way you are. It's not by accident. To take birth in an Indian family is a blessing which you have earned in the past simply because there have been some work towards self-realization. But now your business is to finish it up, complete the course. It's like you go to college to get the degree, but sometimes it happens, a person, just before getting the degree, they quit. We've seen that. It happens. So we are in that boat. Not me, you. You have gotten very close. Now you need to get your degree. You get your degree by surrendering to Krishna 100%. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Some of the regions where the asuras or demons are sent to work are revealed in this verse of Shree Ishopanishad. If a man fails to discharge his duties as a human being, he is forced to transmigrate to the demon planets and take birth in a degraded species of life to work hard in ignorance and darkness. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, the unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Or, if unsuccessful after a long practice of yoga, one takes birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly such a birth is rare in this world. On taking such a birth, one revives the divine consciousness of the previous life and again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru. The man who enters upon the path of self-realization, but who does not complete the process, despite having sincerely tried to realize his relationship with God, is given a chance to appear in a family of Shuchi or Srimat. The word Shuchi indicates a spiritually advanced Brahmana, and Srimat indicates a Vaishya, a member of the mercantile community. So the person who fails to achieve self-realization is given a better chance in one's next life due to his or her sincere efforts in this life. If even a fallen candidate is given a chance to take birth in a respectable and noble family, one can hardly imagine the status of one who has achieved success. Now listen to this line by Prabhupada. By simply attempting to realize God, attempting, one is guaranteed birth in a wealthy or aristocratic family in the next life. Simply for attempting. But if you achieve success, you get complete salvation, liberation. You return back home, back to Godhead. That actually should be the motivation of everyone. That is what Prabhupada was offering. Chant Hare Krishna, live a pure life, giving up the 4 sinful activities. If you do that, you will go back to Krishna at the end of this lifetime. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But those who do not even make an attempt, who want to be covered by illusion, who are too materialistic and too attached to material enjoyment, must enter into the darkest regions of hell, as confirmed throughout the Vedic literature. Such materialistic asuras sometimes make a show of religion, but their ultimate aim is material prosperity. And that is very significant. Many people, they think that the goal of religion is material prosperity. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, no. That is a cheating religion. It may be Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, but if the religion is simply promoting materialistic objectives, that's called Kaitava Dharma, cheating religion. 2nd verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kaitava Dharma, cheating. Because the real, ultimate purpose of religion, self-realization, and ultimately love of God. That's the true fruit of pure religion, love of God. Prabhupada quotes Bhagavad Gita, self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, the demons sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only without following the rules and regulations. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. A week or so ago, we were hearing here, I was giving a class, and Narada Muni was saying, what is the topmost religion? Giving up envy of all living entities. That's superior religion. Giving up envy. How do you do that? By recognizing that Krishna is in everyone's heart. That's how you're able to give up envy and jealousy. That Krishna is in everyone's heart. And the real religion, Krishna explains what is the real religion. Sarvadhaman parityaja, mamekam sharanam vraja, ang twang sarva papebhyo, moksha yashyami masucha. This is the real religion. Sarvadhaman parityaja, give up all the cheating religions. And Krishna says, you just surrender to me. That's the real religion. It's called surrender to Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita rebukes such men by calling them Atma Sambhavita, meaning that they are considered great only on the strength of deception and empowered by the votes of the ignorant and by their own material wealth. Such asuras, devoid of self-realization and knowledge of Ishavasya, the Lord's universal proprietorship, are certain to enter into the darkest regions. The conclusion is that as human beings, we are meant not simply for solving economic problems on a tottering platform. This tottering platform we've seen in the past month. Houston, you saw the tottering platform. Florida, you saw the tottering platform. And guess what? More hurricanes are coming. Chant Hare Krishna. Hare, not just now, I mean constantly. So many times I wonder, somehow or other we're spared, right? We hear of the dangers, but it's somewhere else. Somehow we're spared. Perhaps it's due to Sri Sri Radharaman. What do you think? Should we not worship Sri Sri Radharaman very seriously so that we don't get, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not worried about hurricanes, but I am worried about in 2010, I was in that big earthquake in Santiago. I remember it very clearly. 4 o'clock in the morning, it sounded like a train was in my room. It knocked me off my bed immediately. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. For 1.5 minutes, I never chanted so good. I chanted the best for that 1.5 minutes. And then all throughout the next week, any little sound, Hare Krishna. Because you'd hear a little thing, oh, Hare Krishna. I was never more Krishna conscious than in Santiago 2010. And a few days later, I was giving class in the temple. And while I was giving class, another earthquake came. So what do you think I did? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. What else are you going to do? You can't run. You can't hide. You can't text. What? That's not going to save you. The only thing that will save you is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The conclusion is that as human beings, we are meant not simply for solving economic problems on a tottering platform, but for solving all the problems of material life in which we have been placed by the laws of nature. And how do you solve? By going back home, back to Godhead. Not coming back. Because if we take birth again, got to go through the same nonsense again. Have to go to school again. Have to get married again. Go through earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes and disease. I don't know about you, but I'm fed up. I want to go back. Who wants to go back home, back to Godhead? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. So I'm going to do a special prayer for all of us. What do you think? My dear Sri Sri Radharaman, please protect all of us. Keep us safe and sound, and may we never forget your lotus feet. Sri Sri Radharaman Bhagavan Ki. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Thank you.